Hello everyone. Welcome once again to another Power BI related tutorial by Team Slidescope. In this part, we are learning about creating a student performance analysis dashboard. The dataset that we are using is our dataset that we have here. We have information of 100 students, their gender, ethnicity. So I will explain you the dataset. Basically, in the dashboard, we are seeing average marks or average scores of these different students, and their overall average score is calculated with the help of a very simple DAX here. Now here we can see average score percentage by ethnicity, average of score percentage by gender, by parental education. That means if their parents have gone to some college, they have scored more marks, yes or no. We also have average score percentage by ethnicity and parental education combined, using ribbon chart to see rank of different parental educations in different ethnicity groups. By test preparation, you can see the students have got close to 67% of marks. 50.50% of students have got close to 67% of marks when they have completed the test. Similarly, for top 5 student, we have found who are the top 5 students who have scored most number of marks, and how to apply this filter and how to create these interactive filters to see the data for different type of categories here. So everything that you are seeing here you will learn in this part. So let's get started. This is a very simple data set of student performance. It has 100 students data. We have gender, ethnicity. You can consider this ethnicity anything like Asian, European. So we have randomly given ethnicity as A, E, C, D, etc. Then we have parental education, which is another categorical field. We have test preparation, whether they completed the test preparation or not. Then their score in mathematics, their score in reading, and their score in writing. So this type of data set can be used for creating dashboards using Power BI, using Excel, or can be used for exploratory data analysis using Python. So we will use this particular database to create a very simple exploratory analysis dashboard. To start analyzing the data and creating your student performance analysis dashboard, open Power BI Desktop. In Power BI Desktop, we can simply connect this Excel file. So since the file is given as Excel workbook, we will click here and we will open our data set from here and connect it. After connecting, you will see the sheet name. So we will select that default sheet that we have. Make sure all the column headers and their values are being are appearing properly here, and now you can load the data. Next is we can simply insert a text box telling users what we are doing here. So we are creating a student performance analysis dashboard. So we will write student performance analysis dashboard here, and we will use we will align it to center. We can use a font size around 28. We can make it bold, and here you can use a different kind of font color for your visual. So we will use this particular font color as per the theme. In effects of the text, we can go and enable a shadow and visual border. In visual border, you can select the same color as font, and I will use 12 pixel rounded corners. So this is our simple student performance analysis dashboard heading over here. We can add some images here. So to add image, go to insert and click on image. And suppose we are doing this analysis for a particular institute. So we can use that particular institute's logo over here. or if you are doing it for your college report, you can do it. So for whatever purpose you are learning and doing this, you can add some image over here. This is optional, but adding an image like this gives sufficient information to users, like who is presenting this. Now this particular sidebar that is created, we will use this sidebar for creating some filters. Name of our data is given as sheet 1, so we will rename it as marks because this data represents marks of students. First we have three different parameters like math score, reading score, writing score, and we have student ID. So we will build some KPIs. So we will use 4 KPIs here. So to do that, we will use a simple card visual over here. In card visual, first we will drag student ID and find count of distinct. So this will give us total number of students. So we will rename for this is visual as student count, like how many student do we have. In this card visual, we will go here and in call out value, let's reduce it to 40 pixel and go to general setting, effects. We will enable visual border and shadow, and here I will do the same thing, although we can copy the styling also, but here I am just showing you how to do this separately as well. And here we will use the same font color for heading, which is category label. Here we will use this particular color and make it bold, so this shows that we have 100 students. Then I will make 4 copies of it and I will arrange it with equal width. If you have, we will later add more data here, so let's add some more visuals where we can show minimum, maximum, etc., and as per your requirement you can show those fields. So here we have student count. Now in the second part we will add math score, and here we will select what is the average of math score. Average of math score is 62.51, and here we can also rename and make it short AVG math score, which is 62.51. Let's see what is the average writing score of these students. So when you will write this, this is 60.53 is the average writing score. We will rename for this visual as AVG writing score. Similarly, we will do it for reading score. Here we can select average, so we will write AVG, and here we will write average reading score. So you can see average reading and writing score are very close to each other, like 60.49 and 60.53. And math score is a bit higher. And here, for example, if you want to display more visuals, like you want to display maximum marks obtained in mathematics or minimum marks obtained, so here you can see math score and you can select maximum over here. So this is maximum math score. So some student has a score a maximum of 97 marks out of 100 in mathematics. So this way you can do it for other metrics also. I have just shown you so that you can replicate this on your own. Now we have this area which I said I will use for filters. So here I will apply a slicer. So whenever you are doing exploratory analysis like this, so what you can do, like we are trying to figure out whether these different type of categorical fields have some kind of effect on our output fields. Our output field can be math score, reading score, writing score, and we can also create a calculated field, another calculated column, which can calculate average total score, which I will show you how to do. But before that we will use a slicer, and in the slicer we will put ethnicity. So in ethnicity, first of all, in slicer setting, we will go and make it a drop down, so that when we use drop down, we can use multiple of them, and we can copy the format painter and apply it here. So it will copy the same styling. For example, for ethnicity group A, whatever this might be, like let's say Asian. So you will select, in this case, maximum math score is 97. In B, it is 84. In C, D, E, you will see. So actually in group A, we have the maximum value. That's why it is not changing. And you will see the average score is 63, 63, and 62. So here you can see in group B, reading score is less. So this way you will be able to see this, and if it changes, that means this particular parameter or this particular field has a great deal of effect on our output values. Similarly, as we have done for ethnicity. So first thing that we can do, we can go to slicer header and select uh, this type of color, and for slicer values we can select this type of font color and make the values bold. So this way you will be able to see these values properly. Okay, now once your slicer is done, you can copy it. And now after ethnicity, gender is another important parameter that we have to see, whether male students have got more average marks than female students, or in the data set we have male and female gender information. So we will select that gender here. So first of all we will select it. In ethnicity we will select the gender, and if you will select female, so you will see average math score is 63.58, reading score is 60, etc. For male you can see, so in female math score is more, in male it is less. In So on the basis of gender also you will be able to see average score of these three subjects. So here we can rename it as all subjects dashboard. Later you can create a dashboard specifically for mathematics, specifically for reading and writing, and actually when we will get actual data set, you will see many other subjects also. So you can create different dashboards for different subjects, and one particular dashboard to show aggregate of all the uh, different subjects that we have. Now as I said, we can create a calculated column that can find out score percentage. So whatever score is achieved in mathematics, reading and writing, if we divide it by 300, so in the divide function you use the numerator and denominator, and then you use another 0 here to avoid divide by 0 errors if there is any. So this divide will divide these two numbers, that is sum of all the scores, and divided by 300, considering every score that is given here is out of 100. Okay, so like for example, student 1 got 43 out of 100 in mathematics. In reading they got 68, and writing also they got, that person got 68. So their average score will be sum of this divided by 300, and to calculate it as a percentage we will multiply it by 100. So this is a very simple formula that you can use here. To do that, you can go to modeling tab and create a new column, because for every student we have to do this. Okay, so this is score percentage, and divide this. Now as you can see here, math score, reading score and writing score, we have to use this, right? So first of all, when you will create this, let's see. So here, instead of showing maximum of math score, we can also show average of score. So this will show the overall average. So 61.26 is overall average score. Okay, so we can see average of score percentage. Here one interesting thing is when we are writing or when we have written this formula, so we have used the exact names: math score, reading score, and writing score in square brackets, because these field names contain spaces in them. So make sure you are also writing like this. Now for female, average score is 61.26, and male it is 61.08. So now this particular field can be considered as our main field. Okay, we can say that, like, this can be our main output field, and we can use this thing here. Since we have some space, we can go to general settings, properties, position, mainly padding, and increase some top padding, so that we can align it in center. Now next is gender, and since gender is very important to figure out whether female and male have scored more, another categorical field that we have is parental education. So what we can do, we can select the parental education here. For associate directors, okay, bachelor degree, it is degree here. So for associate degree, bachelor degree, high school, so if parents education is some high school, you can see what is average value, some college, etc. Now I will show you the actual usage of this, like how can we tell that a score percentage of students with a particular type of parental education is more or less. So what we can do here, we now after creating these KPIs, we can create some other visuals. So the first visual that we will bring is stacked column chart, and I will bring one and half of it. Okay, so and I will use half of height. In this visual, in x-axis I will put ethnicity, and in y-axis I will put the score percentage, and I will put, so you can also use sum, like you will see in group A, overall number of students have got uh, 1638.67 score, but we can use average here to see the performance. So you can see on an average in group A, students have scored 63.03 percentage. Okay, so in ethnicity wise, in group C it is less, and on an average in group A it is more. So you will be able to see that, right? When you are using sum, so let's say we are using sum, in that case you also have to find out, like for example in group A there are 26 students, in group B there are 14, right? So less number of students are there, that's why sum is showing as a large value here. So that's why we are using average. Now we can copy and use format painter here. This is average of score percentage by ethnicity, so we can make it shorter and rename for this visual as average score percentage by ethnicity. Now we can go to the general setting title, and we can align it to center, make it bold, and use this particular font color. For our visuals, since we are using this particular color as theme color, so in columns I will go to color and use this. So this is average score percentage by ethnicity. Similarly, I will copy this. I have to make three charts like this in one row. So I will now increase the width so that we can easily put three of them. If you want to match their width perfectly, what you can do, you can go here in general, in property you can see width is 347, so let's do it 350. Similarly here also we can do it 350, and here also we can do 350, and then we can arrange them, like we can keep the gap between them uniform, so that design looks good. So now here what we can do, on x-axis we will bring gender. Now in gender, since we have only two values, so we will use either pie chart or a donut chart. So here you can see score percent 61.26, 61.08. They are very close to each other. First of all, in the first chart, I will do one more thing. I will enable data labels so that we can see those values. Similarly, here also detail labels are enabled, but the value size is very large. So we will just use 9 here. Okay. So 9 or 10 so that we can see both the averages are 61.267. Okay. So this is average of score percentage by gender, and here we will use score percentage by ethnicity. Here we will use parental education. So average of score percentage by parental education, we will just use, just for variety, we will use clustered bar chart. Here this is a column chart, and we will use parental education. So you can see for some college it is higher, 63.31 if parents have gone to some college. For bachelor's degree, 63.12. For high school it is less. For some high school it is less. Surprisingly, for parents with master's degree it is 59.18 and associate degree is 59.51. So you can see it varies, but when parental education is some college, so students have got more numbers. Now you can also see it ethnicity wise, like for example in group A you can see for bachelor degree it is more, in group B in some college it is more. So you can see parental education by ethnicity, and you can also filter according to gender. So this way you can apply these type of interactive filters, and you can see the performance. Let's increase its height and make it. We will use two filters here so that we are using the entire height here of row 1. So this is average of score percentage by parental education. Now we have another important parameter here, which is test preparation, whether they have done test preparation. So this is like a binary value, complete, it is yes or no, completed or none. So here also we will just copy this chart, and after copying this chart, let's reduce the height a little bit, and I will use pie chart here, and here I will simply use this test preparation instead of gender. So you can see when students have completed test preparation, so 66.34, which is fairly higher than 57 point something. So that means students who have completed the test preparation, they have got more marks. So another thing that you have to do, make sure you save these things, whatever you have done so far. Now let's say we want to see the combined usage of ethnicity and education. We know that in group A what is the average percentage, what is overall average percentage, what is in group B, and what is in college, etc. So let's see, just copy this, and after copying this I will make its height a little bit smaller so that it matches the height of the container that we have so far. What if we choose a ribbon chart here? So in ribbon chart we have ethnicity and y-axis, which is same thing, right? Which is the same bar chart that we saw. Now here we also have a legend. Suppose we want to see for different genders what is the performance, what is the performance for test by preparation. So you can use this. So let me show you. For example, if we select test preparation here, so you will see in every ethnicity, if a student has performed, has done test preparation, so that a student who has completed it has got more average marks. particularly in group D. You can see the ethnicity group D. Okay, but this may not be always the case in all categories. So for example, in parental education, let's see. So here in legend, if we bring the parental education, you can see the ribbon is not always parallel. Okay, they are mixing with each other. What this means is this shows rank of every category in every ethnicity group. Basically, rank of parental education in terms of average marks that students have got. So if a student, this simply means, for example, let's see this 67% bachelor degree in group A. Same, this is top rank 66 bachelor degree in group D. But surprisingly, in ethnicity group B, you can see these marks are 55 only. So students belonging to ethnicity group B have got only 55% if their parental education is bachelor's degree. So this is showing rank of every category, every ethnicity group, basically parental education in every ethnicity group in, and the parameter that we are using is average of score percentage. So this is very important here, and you will see, for example, group A, which is lower here, is higher in case of group D and group B. And this pink one, which is some college, so this is higher in group B. So this way you will be able to analyze the data for different groups. And here also, when we are doing this, we can make the heading short by writing AVG score percentage. Okay, so we have this information over here, and now let's copy this. So we have this test preparation also. Let's see whether this is the case in all subjects. So for example, in none, 58, 56, 57. So this is the case in all subjects indeed. So whether test preparation is completed or not. And this way you will be able to apply all these filters together to see the overall student performance. Now, since we are learning things, suppose we want to see average of math score, average of reading score, and average of writing score. Okay, so first of all, what I have done is clustered column chart. So in clustered column chart, you will see clusters. Basically, when I will use three different parameters here, so I will see average numbers here. Okay, and now on x-axis I can put any categorical field or student ID. Let's say we want to see student ID wise. So how you will see for every student. Okay, and you can also use these students as a filter, or if you want to rank these students, for example, who are the top 5 students in terms of their average score, and we will see their average mathematics, average reading and writing score here. So to do that, we will select this chart, and student ID is all. We will select top n, top 5 here. So we will use top 5, and we will sort them by value, and that value is a score percentage, and we will actually use their average score percentage and apply filter. So you can see student number 44, this can be their roll numbers, 98, 11, 70 and 69. These are the students with highest average marks. Now let's rename the title, and title for this I will rename manually. So top 5 students by performance. And if you want to see ethnicity wise, you can do that. So first of all, we will use the text color. Although I can copy the formatting, but let's do it manually now. So this way we will have this, and then I will simply enable the shadow, border, color, 12 pixel. Okay, and if you want you can go here and rename. So we know that everything is average here, so we can simply write it as math, reading and writing. This way when someone will look at these legends, they will understand what these colors are representing. So we will rename here also reading, writing. We can keep a score, but yeah. So these are top 5 students by performance. And let's say we want to see in group A. So in group A, these are top 5 performance. In group B, these are C. In group C, something is interesting here, like a student ID 97. On an average, this student has got more numbers because in reading, this student has got 90. So this particular student is very good in one subject. So this way you will be able to see individual students' performance also. So this is a very simple student performance analysis dashboard that will help you in understanding basic concepts of Power BI and how to use Power BI for exploratory data analysis, how to use Power BI to find out what fields are causing more impact on our target field, which is average score percentage. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day. Don't forget to subscribe our channel to receive more dashboards like this, to receive more dashboard related tutorials like this.